In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on October 2nd, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Los Angeles Chargers versus Houston Texans. The Los Angeles Chargers take on the Houston Texans in an AFC battle on Sunday afternoon. The Chargers were dealt a surprising home loss by the Jaguars in their previous action. The Texans remain winless after a narrow road loss to the Bears last week. The Texans collected a 41-29 home win against the Chargers last season. Los Angeles is 11-3 against the spread in their last 14 games following a double-digit loss at home, and 6-2 against the spread in their last 9th of October games, while the over is 7-1 in their last 8 games following a loss. Houston is 3-8 against the spread in their last 11 games in October and 3-0 against the spread in their last 4 games overall, while the over is 4-0 in their last 4 games following a loss. The line originally opened up at Chargers minus 7.5 points, but quickly dropped to them being favored by just 5.5 points following their Week 3 drubbing at the hands of the Jaguars. With reports that quarterback Justin Herbert will continue to require treatment for his fractured rib cartilage and remaining uncertainty surrounding Keenan Allen's availability, money continued to come in on the Houston Texans, and the line dropped all the way down to 4.5 points before bouncing back up to 5.5 points in favor of Los Angeles. The Texans are at home and Lovie Smith has them playing tough, but will it be enough? As competitive as the Texans have looked during their first 3 games, you have to take into account the level of play of their opponents. The Colts looked like a disaster in Week 1 and have been struggling with key injuries on defense. Both the Broncos and Bears are a hot mess on both sides of the ball, and Houston failed to beat either team. Smith can get his team pumped up emotionally, but save for a strong Week 3 performance by Dameon Pierce, this offense has struggled to move the ball and score points. The Chargers' defense is one of the best in the league, and while they crumbled to Jacksonville following the loss of Joey Bosa to a groin injury, they have had ample time to reset the game plan, knowing ahead of time that they won't have their star edge rusher. On the offensive side, Herbert is another week into the healing process. Allen is expected to return to practice, and Austin Eckler is looking to jumpstart his season against a defense that ranks dead last against the run. Los Angeles is too good a team to not rebound against Houston, so the Los Angeles Chargers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Texans' offense is not high scoring, and they do not have many receiving weapons. They want to keep the ball on the ground, churn up the clock, and limit possessions for the high scoring offenses they face off against. On the other side, Justin Herbert is hurt with broken ribs, and the Texans are horrible against the run. I would imagine the Chargers establish the run early and try and roll with it to limit the number of dropbacks of their star quarterback. The Chargers did not look like a team that's going to put up a ton of points as long as Herbert is injured. We already know the Texans are not a high-scoring offense. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Tennessee Titans versus Indianapolis Colts. The Tennessee Titans have been struggling this season as they are 3rd in the AFC South with a 1-2 record thus far. They are coming off of their first win last week against the Las Vegas Raiders at home 24-22. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill had a decent game as he finished 9 of 27 for 264 yards with a touchdown and an interception. The Indianapolis Colts are struggling as they are 2nd in the AFC South with a 1-1 record and are coming off of a 20-17 home win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Quarterback Matt Ryan statistically had his best game of the season. He went 7 of 37 for 222 yards with a pair of touchdowns. The Titans are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 road games and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The Colts are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games in October and 1-4 7-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The over is 18-6 in Titans' last 24 road games. The under is 8-0 in Colts' last 8 games overall. The Titans are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings in Indianapolis and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. The favorite is 14-5 against the spread in their last 19 meetings. The Indianapolis Colts, I guess, are going to get the benefit of the doubt because they are at home, but they've been subpar at best through 3 games and aren't a team I'm thrilled to back as a favorite. This is also a possible letdown spot for the Colts, who just somehow beat the Chiefs last week. The Tennessee Titans are coming off their best game of the season where the offense showed signs of life, and that ground game will get going eventually. The Colts won the last game against the Chiefs, but I'm still not sold on this offense. Matt Ryan has clearly lost a step, and he's not going to have the best game here. I expect Henry to have another big game for the Titans, and that is going to be the difference here as Tennessee gets the job done. I'm not sure how anybody can be excited to lay points with the Colts, so the Tennessee Titans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The under makes some sense for this division rivalry matchup, which both teams are desperate to win. Tennessee wants to keep things on the ground with Derrick Henry, and they're averaging only 17 points per game. Believe it or not, that's actually significantly better than the Colts, who are averaging fewer than 14 per game and are yet to top 20. Matt Ryan doesn't look like he's got much left in the tank physically, and the Colts' ground game led by Jonathan Taylor hasn't been nearly as dynamic as it has been in the past. In Indy's most recent division game, they got blanked by the Jaguars. Beyond Michael Pittman Jr., the receiving talent in this game leaves a lot to be desired. The Colts don't have much beyond Pittman, and the Titans got rid of both A.J. Brown and Julio Jones this offseason. The total is set low here, and for good reason. These are not good offensive teams right now. I think the total is even too high here as we have a Colts team averaging just 13 points per game, last in the NFL, and the Titans are bottom third in points. Plus, the Colts like to control the clock with their run game and ball control. This one could get ugly. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Commanders versus Dallas Cowboys. Washington will be looking to snap a 2-game losing streak when it travels to Dallas on Sunday afternoon. The Commanders won their season opener against Jacksonville before losing to Detroit and Philadelphia in their last 2 games. Dallas has been trending in the opposite direction, bouncing back from a loss to Tampa Bay with wins over the Bengals and Giants. The Commanders are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games in October and 2-5-1 against the spread in their last 8 versus NFC East. The Cowboys are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games in October and 18-7 against the spread in their last 25 games overall. The under is 13-3 in Commanders' last 16 games in October. The under is 3-0-1 in Cowboys' last 4 games overall. The Commanders are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings in Dallas and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 meetings. Washington's offensive line has struggled so far this year, and the Commanders will face one of the best defensive fronts in the NFL in a Dallas defensive line and linebacking core anchored by Lawrence and Parsons. Dallas has been able to get consistent pressure on quarterbacks all season, and Wentz has struggled when teams have been able to get to him early. Dallas is playing good football right now, and the Cowboys' defense knows they will need to continue to play well to win given that the team is limited at receiver. Washington's defense has struggled in the secondary, and the defensive line doesn't look the same without Chase Young. The Commanders still have talent up front with Allen and Payne, but the back end of the defense has been very inconsistent, and Cooper Rush is playing well. Dallas has also been able to run the ball better this year with Elliott healthy and Pollard a solid being a solid. The Washington Commanders haven't had the easiest schedule up to this point, but their defense hasn't lived up to their potential, and their offense has had issues finishing drives. The Dallas Cowboys have issues of their own, but they have one of the better defenses in the league, and their offense is gaining confidence as the weeks go by. I like the Commanders entering the season, but these last couple of weeks haven't been great, so the Washington Commanders to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Dallas's defense is playing very well right now, and Washington's offensive line has struggled against stronger defensive fronts. Parsons and Lawrence should both be able to put pressure on Wentz, who has not looked good when he hasn't had a clean pocket. Washington has talent at receiver, but they haven't been able to run the ball consistently or protect Wentz with their inconsistent offensive line. Cooper Rush is playing well, but Dallas is still limited at receiver with Gallup out and Cooper gone from last year. McCarthy also likes to be conservative with the lead. Dallas is likely to keep the ball on the ground if they are able to build an early lead. Washington's offensive line didn't hold up in pass protection last week. The Commanders will also likely look to focus more on running the ball and short passes to keep Dallas's strong defensive front from pressuring wins. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started.